What's up, everybody? This is Zach with the Nerd Cave Network, and today I'm bringing my review of episode 5 of season 6 of Game of Thrones, The Door. If you have not watched this episode, go do so. Don't come and watch this video right now. You need to go watch the episode. Clear on that. Every episode, I say that before I get into it, because this will be dealing with what happened in the episode. There will be spoilers, so don't cry wolf. Wink, dire wolf. If you haven't already watched that, if you've seen the other episodes and you haven't watched this one yet, go watch my reaction or my review to those. I've done every episode so far, and we're going to go ahead and get into it. There's a lot of things that happen in this episode, more of building. We're constantly building in Game of Thrones. So let's start with Sansa. She has really developed as a character from the very beginning, where she just wanted to marry a lord and sew dresses and all of that. She has learned to play the game. She has learned that being dishonest, being able to play people, being moves ahead of people is the way to go. That it's not about being very impulsive and doing things right then and there. It's about knowing, oh, can I use this person later? And we clearly saw that from the interaction between her and Littlefinger. Littlefinger betrayed her straight up. He knew what he was getting Sansa into, that this was a bad thing, that this was something that was going to cause Sansa a lot of harm when he gave her to Ramsay to marry. And she knows that. She knows that he knows. And you could see that she wanted to have Brienne of Tarth just chop him down right there. But like I said, she has learned how to play the game. And then, so she decides to, not do that. He gives her some pretty vital information, which will come in a little bit later. But you see that she is not this little girl anymore. And that's pretty interesting. And we see when she's talking with Jon, she gives this information about the Blackfish, which is her uncle, that he has reassembled the army of the Tullys, the Tully army, and has retaken Riverrun again. So she tells Jon this, and he's like, oh, where did you get this information from? And, she lies to Jon. She says, oh, well, there's a raven that was blah, 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 all of this. So she doesn't trust Jon, which is a very interesting thing. You would figure that her only person that's there for her, she lies to. So you see that there's some kind of machinations going on. And Brienne actually, brought that up to her. Why did you lie to him? And I'm here to protect you. Don't lie to people. So you see that Littlefinger has had some type of shaping on her, even if she doesn't realize it. He's made her the person she is more than anything else. Really, Littlefinger had taught her to play the game. Then we see over with the Ironborn, Theon and Yara. Yara puts her name in the pot. I think it's called the King's Moot or something like that, where she wants to be king of the Ironborn. And people are like, well, Theon's here. Why would we pick a woman over a male heir? And Theon says this is the person that she's done this. He's really supported her, and I think that was the first step for Yara to actually start trusting Theon. He was good with his word from last episode that he would support her, that he would be beside her and be her right-hand man. And then Euron came in. Euron, I think is his name. And that's Theon's uncle and Yara's uncle, and throws his name into the pot as well. And he comes in very boisterous, very charismatic, and really speaks to the Ironborn. He knows that this is a vote right then and there for who's going to be ruling this kingdom. And he gives this whole plan that he's going to, build this fleet and take it to Daenerys Stormborn, and he's going to take over, the whole thing. And that's a really cool plan. I hope that they keep going through with this. And Euron, he actually wins. He's the new king of the Ironborn, the Iron Isles. And you see Yara and Theon, while he's being baptized or whatever you want to call it, being brought back from, what's dead shall never die, from the drowned god, bringing him up as the king and everything. And Yara and Theon, you think, oh, they're just getting everything ready, which was kind of weird. I was like, oh, well, why would they just automatically start working for their uncle that killed their father? And he admitted it to everybody, and everybody's like, all right, cool, sure. See, it means he's stronger, I guess. So I was like, okay, this is a little weird. And then you see that Yara and Theon actually has taken his fleet away from him. That it's, where he's, not even having a fleet and they're having to build everything. So I thought that was pretty interesting. I can't wait to see what happens between that. I'm glad they're actually using the Ironborn more than just junk, really. They were kind of just throwaway characters for the most part. One thing that we definitely got to see, which was pretty interesting, and this deals with a lot more of what's happening up past the wall with Bran and the Three-Eyed Raven and everything. It was the symbols and patterns. We got a little look at what's been going on throughout the whole show. You saw at the very first episode these wildlings in this weird shape, just kind of placed there, and you didn't know really what was going on. This is very first episode with that ranger. I think his name was Will. And then you see later on these horses in this like pinwheel type design, and it all comes back to the Children of the Forest. I think that's what they're called. Yeah, Children of the Forest. Sorry, just making sure. All of these symbols were used in their rituals that helped their magic. It gave them, powers and everything. And one thing that was revealed in this episode, which I thought was really cool, was the Children of the Forest actually made the White Walkers. They were the ones that created them to protect them from the humans, because back in the time, they had dragons fighting the Children of the Forest. They had, all these old Valyrians coming in and destroying all of these people. So they created the White Walkers to defend them, to fight against them. And the first one that they made was the Night King, which is the ultimate baddie in this whole thing. He's the ultimate evil, but you see that he was just a normal guy. He was a human, and they did this ritual, and then boom, this guy's there. And that brings me to the next point, where Bran, he tries to sneak a peek and what the Three-Eyed Raven is doing when he's taking a nap, and then boom, he's taken to where the White Walkers were created, but it was in actual time, and the Night King actually saw him. And when he grabbed him, it was kind of a game of tag. He grabbed him, and then he knew exactly he was there. They couldn't get into the cave until they had a physical way to link themselves in there. So Bran opened the door pretty much for the Night King to come into the cave and just slaughter everybody. It was cool to see the Children of the Forest fighting and everything, using their magic. I thought that was pretty awesome. And I guess all of them are dead. Those are the only ones we've seen in the show, and they just murdered everybody. The White Walkers did. So the ending, this was hard to watch, not in like graphic way, but just hard to watch because of the ramifications of what happened here. It's hard to explain if you didn't watch this part of the episode, and if you didn't, go watch it right now. Don't listen to this. The thing with Hodor, seeing Bran in the vision and seeing how Hodor became Hodor, was this dawn of realization that, oh wow, this moment made this guy's life, everything this guy has been for all these years is because of this moment right here, where Bran is controlling Hodor. Bran is also in this vision with the Three-Eyed Raven, and you hear, hold the door. You hear that over and over and over. and it sends young Hodor, which was we saw earlier on. I think episode 2 we saw him as Will, and that he was fully functional. Like he was, he moved, he talked, he was a normal person, and that in this episode he started going in convulsions, and he heard "hold the door," and he started shouting, "Hold the door, hold the door," and seeing that transformation. Oh, this is good writing, okay? It's good writing. It's also super hard to watch, just because of this beloved character, this gentle giant that we've grown to love and know. See him become who he is, screaming, "Hold the door," and it slowly changes into Hodor, Hodor. And that's what he says out throughout the rest of his life is Hodor, because of this moment, the last moments that he's alive, because he's holding this door that is essentially the freedom that Bran has, his last chance of freedom, because all the White Walkers are coming after him to destroy him, because that's what the Night King, I don't know what his, thing against the three-eyed raven is. You see him kill him and everything, but you see Hodor holding this door, and you see the White Walkers breaking through, ripping at his clothes, ripping at his flesh, and you keep hearing, "Hold the door, hold the door, Hodor, 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 Hodor," and you see that struggle, and you see Bran disappear into the whipping winds, and it cuts to the end of that where he's just saying Hodor as a kid, and you can just assume that Hodor's dead, and that's pretty hard. The whole transformation and everything came from George R. R. Martin, which I'm glad that the writers got to sit down and say, okay, we're doing this, and George telling them, this is what I have in store for Hodor. This is how he became who he is, and it was really powerful and a great way to end the episode. Just, it was very strong. A lot of stuff going on in this episode that I didn't talk about, but I kind of hit the higher points. Interested to see what happens with the Lord of Light over in Meereen, them using that radical group to spread the word of Queen Daenerys and everything while she's away. So I'm interested to see what happens there. Like I said, always constantly building. The last 10 minutes of this episode was just balls to the wall is the best way to say that. And it was just full out, didn't stop. And rest in peace, Hodor. I'm going to miss you, my friend. Guys, if you have another part that's your favorite, let me know in the comments below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this. And if you didn't, let me know. Let me know in the comments, what didn't you enjoy about my review, my reacts, or the episode? If you like, this is crap, tell me in the comments below. Hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on anything throughout the week. And next Sunday, I'll be coming right back here and giving another review for the next episode of Game of Thrones. If you want to see anything, let us know also in the comments. And guys, keep coming back. Thanks for spending some time with me. This has been Zach, and have a week.